Please be seated. Feels like a wedding. So, good afternoon for our second set of ceremonies. Most of you know me. My name is Dave Musson. I'm the Associate Dean of the Undergraduate Medical Education Program. Thrilled to be here today. This is a great job, but probably the best part of the job is what happens today and Tuesday in Sudbury. So this is very fun for me. You guys are like my kids. Very thrilled. So I'll be your Master of Ceremonies. Whenever I go it means I'm filtering things that I'm going to say that are going to get me into trouble. So usually you'll hear an and then I'll just say something different. So I'm just warning you ahead of time. So I'm going to introduce a number of speakers, and we're going to have our own NOSOM ceremony, which is much more fun. My personal style is I like to keep it a little bit relaxed. Those of you who know me know that's kind of how I like to run things. Right there, right? No, I'm not going to say that. But I enjoy this very much, so I intend to kind of enjoy it as it comes along. And I know for some of you, you've never sat this close to the front, so I hope it's not too traumatizing. I'm looking at you, John. I'm not sure if you can make it through without Facebook to surf around on in the back, but I'll anyway, welcome to everyone. Welcome to our families. My family's here. My little girl's way in the back. But I know this is a huge moment in your lives, and many doctors define their lives as sort of before and after medicine, and this is where you make that transition from being a medical student into the profession. So I'm not going to wax on poetic about that for a long time, but this is a big day, and I want to acknowledge that. And welcome all the families, the people who've supported you financially and emotionally through this journey. And at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Roger Strasser, our Dean, to say a few words.
Well, thanks very much, Dave. First to the graduating class of 2016, Northern Ontario School of Medicine. Congratulations, you did it. Doctor. And this is really a phenomenal achievement and the result of a lot of hard work on your part, individually and collectively in the groups, and well done. Congratulations for that. But of course, you could not really have done it without the support of family members and friends, faculty members, staff members, community members right across Northern Ontario. And so I'd like to ask you now to show your appreciation for all of the support you've received from all your supporters across Northern Ontario. Thank you to all of you. Oh, a standing ovation. That was Brian Stevenson's idea. So, you're graduating from NOSOM. You're the 8th class to graduate from Northern Ontario School of Medicine, and graduating at a time of, I guess, special celebration for the school. In 2005, we had the official opening of Northern Ontario School of Medicine, and that came about as a result of a widespread community movement across Northern Ontario. People said if we're ever going to have enough doctors and other health professionals, if we're ever going to improve the health of people of Northern Ontario, we need our own Northern Ontario School of Medicine. And so that came to pass. In September of 2005, we had the official opening of Northern Ontario School of Medicine, a school established with our social accountability mandate to focus on improving the health of the people of Northern Ontario. And so fast forward to September of 2015, 10 years since the official opening of the school. And what a year. We're just coming to the end of our year of celebrating the 10th anniversary of the opening of the school. And we started off recognising, well, our vision is innovative education and research for a healthier north. Like, it's about a healthier north. And physical activity is good for your health. So rather than a whole lot of stuffy speeches and events of that sort, so we said, okay, physical activity, good for you, makes you healthier. Let's encourage everybody across Northern Ontario to get out, and 30 minutes of physical activity for a healthier north, and we had over 700 people joined us to be active with NOSOM for a healthier north. 20 communities, 700 people, and that was really the kickoff of the 10th anniversary celebrations, the Be Active with NOSOM, and that theme is continuing. This is a secret, so don't tell anyone, but next week, NOSOM will receive from the Canadian Society for Public Relations the Gold Award of Excellence for the Be Active with NOSOM celebratory event. So that was a pretty exciting. You won't tell anyone, will you? Not until it's announced next week, okay? And then through the year, we've kept up the celebrations in one sort or another, including in February, I Heart NOSOM is what I get confused with the picture of the three, but anyway, I Heart NOSOM with the open house. We invited people here in Thunder Bay and in Sudbury to come to the school and to learn about, and we had over 400 people from Thunder Bay and from Sudbury join us for the activities, including maybe individuals who in the future will become students and graduates of NOSOM, and people of all ages. It looks like we'll have a whole lot of new standardised patients. They actually ran out of application forms for that open house event, the interest from people who attended that. So, you know, we've spent this year celebrating, and of course this is when coming to the end of the academic year. We will have the Iceman Conference coming up next month, and a dinner to celebrate the final event, I guess, to celebrate our 10th anniversary. But I think it's particularly special that you are graduating this year at this time in our 10th anniversary year. And in fact, I mean, what an amazing ride you've had. You started in the year that we held Rendezvous 2012 here in Thunder Bay and across Northern Ontario, and we had over 850 people from around the world came to join us, 50 different countries represented, and to participate in that conference, which focused on the involvement of people in education, community participation, education, research, and service. And I think really was the time when NOSOM was announced on the world stage and became recognised as a world leader in transformational health professional education. And it's because of our distinctive model, which you've experienced over the last 4 years, distributed, community engaged learning. And so now you're graduating from a school which is recognised internationally as a world leader in this field. And you have continued the tradition of excellence, and well done. All matched in the first round of CALM, so that's a phenomenal achievement. I think it is recognition that the residency program directors of Canada want to have you, our graduates, in their residency program. So just fantastic. So of course you're just warming up, really. You know, this is you're graduating, but it's only the first stage in a sense in your career in medicine, and you'll soon be hearing words of wisdom from a graduate about all the fun and games ahead of you with residency and beyond that. But right now is the time to sort of step back and savor the moment and celebrate your great achievement. Congratulations and well done. I'm now going to invite Elder Tom Chisel to come and provide a blessing.
Bonjour, Zaubitang Digo, Namen do Tem, Niniumiteo. My name is Tom Chisel, and I'm from Laxall First Nation. And I've had the opportunity to be with this group of students because that was about the time when I became part of the NOSOM elder group too, so it's kind of special for me too. So I just wanted to, say to the students, this thing that was happening today. One of the things that our people tell us is that Kishemanito Egi Ujitot Kanigego Egi Abajitot Weshfute Wege Sinike Minoge Weg up Pagit Namwing Minoge Iwe Nipe Ugi Ushian Nabe Mitash Uwe Tashegi Shiminachin Uwe Umam de Nanjigan Minoge Iwe Ute Minoge Uwe Uchakwan Mitashma Gagiunche Nisinabi Ginachin Ite Marking Wagagiustot Mima Winchik Ken Disset and Schnabe. I just wanted to say this in my language because this is important, because it's a teaching. You see, Creator made, in our belief, in our teachings, He made a human being from the four elements of fire, water, air, and rock. And that's the physical part. That's the physical. But He wanted that human being to understand his place on this earth when he was going to put him on the earth. So He gave him a heart so that he would have feelings, that he would understand and understand his place here. He also gave him a mind so that he could think and plan and know how to live and how to go from day to day. And then He finally gave him His spirit. He blew His spirit into that being so that he would understand his place, his purpose in this place, in this earth. So I was thinking today, where this profession that the medical profession looks at that physical part, but it's also important that He gave each one of you that those three gifts. Creator gave you those three gifts, and that's how we view ourselves as Anishinaabe, and that's how I want to see to respect your profession from your purpose, from your heart and your mind, because that's who we are, and that's who you are, Anishinaabe. We're all Anishinaabe when I look at you. I'm really glad to see all the parents and relatives here that support you here. And so I want to sing a song that was given to me by one of the healers from the Sundance tradition. And it's a song that says, I am the leader, I am the leader of all the spirits. And that's what that song says. So I'm giving you this to remember this song for this day for you. English.
Thank you very much, Tom, for that wonderful blessing. I'd like to invite Madame Claudette Gleason, the Vice Chair of the Francophone Reference Group, to speak on behalf of the Francophone community. Il me fait plaisir d'inviter Madame Claudette Gleason, vice-présidente du groupe consultatif francophone, à vous adresser la parole de la part de la communauté francophone de Thunder Bay du nord de l'Ontario.
Excellent.
Merci beaucoup.
Dr. Strasser, Dr. Misson, Elder Tom Chisel, Dr. Turner, et Ms. Perkins. Chers parents, amis et tout spécialement, chers finissants. Au nom du comité consultatif francophone, c'est avec beaucoup de fierté que je vous rends hommage, chers finissantes et finissants, de l'année 2016. C'est un privilège pour moi de célébrer avec vous aujourd'hui le couronnement de 4 années d'études à l'École de médecine du nord de l'Ontario. It is a privilege for me to celebrate with you today the crowning achievement of 4 years of study at the Northern Ontario School of Medicine. L'AMNO a un mandat d'imputabilité sociale qui l'oblige à tenir compte de la diversité culturelle de la région qu'elle dessert, y compris les besoins des communautés francophones du nord de l'Ontario. Environ 25% des étudiants à l'École de médecine sont identifiés comme francophones et reflètent le pourcentage de la population des francophones qui vivent dans le nord de l'Ontario. During the last 4 years, NOSOM has encouraged our medical students to learn and understand the Franco-Ontarian history, traditions, and culture. Nous, les francophones, ont pu marquer vos expériences pertinentes dans le cadre de stages dans des services de santé et collectivités francophones. Chacun et chacune de vous avez quelque chose d'unique à offrir. Each one of you has something special to offer. Mais à vous, les nouveaux médecins francophones, je vous lance un défi suivant. Affichez-vous comme francophone ou francophile. Même si vos patients ne s'identifient pas comme francophones, cette offre active sera un autre outil qui vous aidera à comprendre et mieux diagnostiquer vos patients. Et pour notre population, nous espérons pouvoir s'assurer que nos besoins langagiers, culturels et surtout en santé soient adressés dans notre langue. Alors, félicitations à vous toutes et tous. Un avenir débordant de possibilités vous attend. Congratulations to all of you. A future full of possibilities await you. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup. C'était très bien. It also gives me great pleasure to invite Erica Perkins, Indigenous Reference Group representative, to speak on behalf of NOSOM's Indigenous Reference Group.
Ani, Buju, Sago, and good evening. Elder, graduates, family member, professors, and staff of the Northern Ontario School of Medicine. I'm Erica Perkins and a member of the Indigenous Reference Group at NOSOM. I bring greetings to you this evening from the graduating class of 2016 from the IRG Chair, Dot Bocage Kennedy, who is sincerely sorry that she cannot be here at this momentous occasion. The Indigenous Reference Group works diligently with Dr. Strasser and all of the NOSOM staff to ensure that the Indigenous world vision is woven into the fabric of all aspects of the Northern Ontario School of Medicine. It is with this vision, as learners, you receive the gifts of the 7 sacred teachings. Wherever your life's journey takes you, may it be personal, future studies, or in your career, I encourage you to embrace the teachings you have received and let them be your foundation and your guide. Love, respect, courage, honesty, wisdom, humility, truth. These teachings will be your strength, and you will not go wrong as new physicians. And so today, with great pride, I say to the graduates, to the families who have sacrificed so much for you, to all of the communities and agencies across Northern Ontario, and of course NOSOM, you're bearing witness to the results of your efforts and the dedication and hard work. And it's a very, very beautiful thing. Congratulations to all of you. Chi miigwech.
Thank you, merci, and chi miigwech. Very nice words. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce Dr. Wilson Stevenson. You know, there's a doctor in front of your name now. I don't know if you noticed that. To speak as the class representative of 2016. So please come up.
Thank you, Dr. Musson. Hello, everyone. Welcome to round 2 of the graduation festivities today. Thank you for sticking with us through the long ceremony before and coming back for more. At NOSOM, our grad ceremonies are kind of like our tests. You sit through it once and you think it's all done, but then they ask you to come back and sit through it again. It's kind of strange. First things first, I'd like to thank my classmates for giving me the privilege of talking with you all today. There's no greater honor than to have the respect of your peers, and I truly appreciate this opportunity. We have a saying in medical school, fake it until you make it. Right, Alan? My point is, I am no more qualified than any one of the graduates to be up here today. As you all know, this is a class that is full of incredibly successful and insightful men and women. I was going to say young men and women, but some of us. But I'll do my best to make it. I remember the summer before our first year, we received a class composite, which kind of acted as our introduction to our classmates. I remember looking at the pictures in that composite and thinking to myself, these are going to be the people that I spend the next 4 years with. They look like nerds. But you have to be a little bit of a nerd to get into medical school, let alone through it, right? My first impression of the class wasn't wrong. However, we're a tight-knit group of lovable nerds. We all remember that first week we spent on a bus traveling around northwestern Ontario. With a class as small as ours, you get to know each other really well, and sometimes a little bit too well. We've all been on the receiving end of a Jess Trent or John Cochimilio story. In fact, some of us have been getting updates from John over the last week, which we rather wouldn't be getting. The close bonds that hold this class together certainly helped us make it to this point. Every single one of the students who started in this class is graduating today. A huge accomplishment. No doubt that was helped by the organizational talents of many of our classmates, spearheaded, of course, by Mallory, who set up mock OSCEs and lab exams before you wrote our actual tests. What also helped us is that we have a diverse number of personalities in our class, from the cool, calm, and collected Sean and James to the eternally optimistic Leah and Trista. And then we also have Nico, who, pardon my French, can be a bit of a disturber de merde. I wrote that joke for his mom, who's not here today, unfortunately. But don't laugh, Zale. You know you're right there with him. And his parents are here. We found out in a lecture during second year that Corbin was a zebra. And then we found out later on in third and fourth year that he's an entirely different type of animal. A party animal. You East Coasters. We had a lot of good laughs during lecture. I don't think anybody in our class will ever remember or ever forget the genetics behind RH blood groups. And oh boy, who could forget John Carbo's boot camp? I have to keep this relatively short, so you'll have to ask your graduate for all the stories and the details behind them over dinner tonight. Throughout our time here in medical school, we often would think about where our classmates would end up during residency. All the students here today, as you heard earlier, matched during the first round of CARMs. Again, another huge accomplishment by this class. Here today we have 2 radiologists. One of them, Adam, is a movie buff. He enjoys spending most of his time in a dark room staring at a screen. So radiology was a natural fit for him. And now that he's moving to Vancouver, he might never see the sun again. The pathologists in our class will certainly approve of that. We also have 2 of them, Alex and Caitlin. I recently saw the movie Concussion, where Will Smith plays a pathologist, and he listens to classical music when he performs his autopsies. I'm sure we can all picture Alex working in his lab, listening to tunes, although I'm sure it won't be classical. Maybe Biebs or T Swift, right, Quan? And for Caitlin, maybe the musical Cats? Among us today, we also have a surgeon, a pediatrician, an adopted emergency physician, a couple of internists, as well as a handful of psychiatrists. When my classmates found out that I was going to be a general internist, they thought maybe they'd give me a call later on when they're in their careers and they're dealing with a tough medical case. Well, to them today I say, you're probably more likely going to need one of our psychiatrists like Tracy or Mandy or Julia. They are professionally obligated to listen to you, and they might actually enjoy it. And of course, NOSOM was founded with the mandate that it was to improve the health of Northern Ontario, and family doctors are the essential component of fulfilling that mandate. So all of my classmates who match to family medicine know that you're fulfilling that purpose, which is incredible. In addition to the academic success shared by this group, there have also been a number of extracurricular achievements. Rosie and Alex got married just as medical school was starting. Well played, Alex. Jess and Jess also got married during medical school. There were a number of engagements that happened, including Mallory and Adam, Alex and Jess, and just in the last few weeks, Aylin and Kevin, who got engaged in Central Park in New York City. Jessica and Jesse. My bad, I'm sorry. Anyways, so New York City and Central Park. Usually, when you say that somebody got engaged in New York City and Central Park, the guys are kind of sweating, thinking that they got to live up to that. However, Aylin, with the manicure on point for the surprise photo shoot, is putting a little bit of pressure on all the ladies in the group. The class also welcomed a new member to our family as James and his wife Anne had their second baby. But enough about the graduates. Let's talk about the real reason why we're here today. Every grad in this room has family and friends that they brought with them. I'm sure there are more elegant ways to say this, but simply stated, you were the reason that we made it this far. Without the support of our family and friends, there's no way we could have gotten into medical school, let alone gotten through it. So thank you for all the support that you've given us so far and will continue to give us in the future. We certainly appreciate it. Of course, on behalf of my class, I would also like to thank the NOSOM administration, faculty members, and clinical staff. And thank you to the communities of Northern Ontario that took us in during our various placements. Finally, and probably most importantly, thank you to all the standardized and real patients who trusted their care to medical students so that we could gain experience in this field. I will end this by congratulating all the graduates, their family, and friends for making it to this point. It has been quite a journey so far, but it's not over yet. Residency is a short month away. Unfortunately, it doesn't get any easier from this point forward. But we all made it to this point, and I'm confident we will all make it through the next stage as well. It's been an honor and a privilege to get to know all of you over the last 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Stevenson. It also gives me great pleasure to welcome formally one of your own. For each of these graduations, we'd like to have an alumni speaker come and talk about how easy it gets from here on in, and how this was the only hard part you're going to have. Unfortunately, that's not true. But it gives me great pleasure to welcome Dr. David Savage.
So I wanted to begin with saying congratulations to the graduates. As a family medicine resident, I'm in my second year, and I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of classes throughout my 2 years. And I've worked with many of the students here and found them to be an amazing group. While I was waiting outside to come in here and give this speech, somebody had mentioned that last year's alumni speaker had brought tears to people's eyes. And I was thinking back to my wife. She'd be happy if I just didn't put you to sleep. When I'm in front of a group like this, I'm typically talking about the mathematics behind how people flow through the emergency department or computer modeling, so I'll keep it brief. When I was asked to do this, I wasn't given a lot of direction, much in NOSOM style, so this is very much a self-directed speech. As many of you know, I've been in an academic environment for a long period of time. I'm sort of a mature student, somewhat of a mature student. So over the years, I thought, well, maybe I can come up with some advice, some things that I found that are important that have helped me succeed over my 20-something year career. So the first one I want to start off with was finding a mentor. So this is something that I've benefited from greatly. I've had mentors throughout my training, both personal and professional, and they've always provided great opportunities to discuss issues that I'm having. These mentors should provide ideals that you hold dear to you. Finding somebody who works continuously and doesn't have the work-life balance that you want may not be the best of role models or mentors for you. I've always tried to bring that work-life balance. I have 4 kids and a devoted wife, but it's difficult. So having those mentors who can sort of bring you back to earth and say, this is that there's more to life than just medicine is important. And it's sort of ironic that today we have Dr. Adam Moyer over here from Dryden, that only 3 weeks ago in our academics, he was talking about mentors and that he'd really like to be a mentor for people. So I can give you his email after this address. He'll have a whole stock, because I think a bunch of our family medicine residents actually emailed him right away. So moving on from there, mentors have been an important part of my success. The next one that I would say is always asking why. Why are you doing something? So I question everything, not only in the clinical setting, but also in, why medicine, why residency, why this job? When you make decisions, always question why. The why for me has always been the ability to work with a diverse group of people, whether it's colleagues in nursing, in respiratory therapy, is it working with a diverse group of patients. Medicine brings the intellectual challenge that I've always wanted. I'm able to continue with my math and my computer modeling, and that makes it exciting for me. The other thing is to do many different things. Medicine is one of these disciplines where it opens an amazing number of doors for you. So although you are now doctor, you're not just a clinical physician. The doors are wide open for you to do so many things. And that brings up my third piece. And this is a piece of advice I actually got in the emergency department as a patient. I arrived with my 2-year-old. I completed 1 year of medical school, and I talked to this physician, and he said to me, he goes, David, I'm burnt out. This job has just sucked the life out of me. It doesn't say a lot for emergency medicine, which I am about to start. So he talked to me for almost 30 minutes while a lot of people probably waited. And he said to me, he said, David, you know what the biggest mistake I've made in my career is not diversifying it. All I've done for the last 30 years is work in emergency medicine. And so that struck me as being, okay, so you're burnt out and you say you haven't diversified. His diversification was that he played in a band. That probably some people know him. But what it rung true is that to diversify your career is to take on other responsibilities. And as people know, that I often don't say no to an opportunity. So when somebody asks me to do something, I almost always say yes, because it provides an opportunity to diversify, whether it's in teaching, administration, research, which I am really interested in, or having other clinical interests. I'd recommend never saying no, always trying to diversify, making a broad practice, and trying to prevent that sort of that burnout that can occur. So those are my 3 pieces of advice. I'm really honored to be up here to represent the alumni, and congratulations to the class of 2016.
Thanks. It didn't bring a tear to my eye, but it was excellent advice, and that's better than crying anyway, so that's good. This is a very fun part now. I'm going to call each of the graduates one by one to the stage. I'm also going to read off your Karmas match, unless you don't want me to. And we have a NOSOM specific certificate, which is a beautiful certificate, suitable for framing. You can buy a frame from us for a reasonable amount of money. I'm not kidding. And Dr. Strasser will present each of you with a diploma. It's a beautiful diploma, and then we will have gifts from the Indigenous Affairs and Francophone Affairs and from the NOSOM alumni to shake hands and present gifts. And this is fun because I get to call you all doctor, which is actually a pretty fun part of the job. So Dr. Erica Allard Ahala. Who's doing general surgery in Northern Ontario. Excellent. Dr. Zayla Premium, who's going to UBC, Family Medicine, rural in Okanagan. John Gaspare Cochimilio, who's doing Family Medicine in Thunder Bay. Excellent. We have a couple of graduates who aren't here. I'll just read their names, but then I'll jump on to the next one. So Loria Como is also graduating, going to UBC to do family medicine in Prince George. Liliana D'Amelio, who is doing family medicine in Sault Ste. Marie. Fantastic. Congratulations. You're going to love it. Dr. Robin Duffus, who's doing pediatrics in Thunder Bay and Sault Ste. Marie. Congratulations. Dr. Adam Gerlach, who's going to the basements of UBC to study diagnostic radiology. Congratulations. Dr. Catherine Golding, who's staying here in Thunder Bay to do family medicine. Fantastic. Congratulations. And Dr. Mallory Granholm is going to my old stomping grounds, McMaster, to do diagnostic radiology. A great program. You're going to love it. Yeah, you're going to love it. And Dr. Corbin Hart, who's going to Queens to do family medicine in the Belleville Clinic. Congratulations. Dr. Leah Suzanne Johnson, who is going also to Okanagan to do family medicine. Nice place. Good wine.
Yes, I heard.
Yes. Dr. Trista Lyon, who's going to Memorial to do family medicine in the Rural Western program. Great program. Everyone spelled out their name phonetically just to help me, and yours is like very carefully spelled out. So, although I actually know most of the names. Yeah, Julia Mastran, and you've actually put the accent in, but it's actually not marked as that. So, you like it, Julia Mastrangelo, which is a beautiful name. Who's going to Western to do psychiatry, which is a great program. I have a fair amount of experience with that program. We're going to have a fun time.
Thank you. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, there's a good bunch there. And Dr. James McMahon, which is also spelled out phonetically for me, going to Ottawa to do psychiatry. Great program. You're going to have a fun time. Okay. And Zoe. Dr. Zoe Michano-Furlong. Staying here for family medicine, right? In Thunder Bay? Fantastic. Congratulations. And Dr. Sean Miner, going to UBC to do family medicine on Vancouver Island. Nice. Yeah. As good as it gets. Congratulations. Very envious of many of these destinations. They're very nice. Dr. Jeannie Murdoch, Northern Ontario School of Medicine, Family Medicine in Sault Ste. Marie. Great bunch there. Dr. Jessica Nairn, doing family medicine in rural Northern Ontario. Fantastic. Congratulations.
So much for this privilege.
And Dr. Rosie North, who's doing family medicine here in Thunder Bay. Fantastic. Congratulations. And Dr. Alex Pettiquan, who's going to the University of Ottawa to do anatomic pathology and general pathology. Excellent. Congratulations. Thank you. And Dr. Aman Ann Richard, who's going to Queens to do psychiatry. Excellent. Congratulations. You're going to have a fun time. And also Tracy Sarmiento, who's also not here today. Actually, I think in Australia, if I'm not mistaken, who's going off to Toronto to do psychiatry. Drew Spicer, Dr. Drew Spicer, Dalhousie University, Family Medicine. Congratulations. And again, Dr. Wilson Stevenson, Ottawa for internal medicine. We're going to have fun there. A nice city and good program. Yeah, enjoy it. Congratulations. Dr. Ben Stride Darnley. Family medicine here in Thunder Bay. Aren't you already a doctor?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dr.
yeah, doctor. Ben's already a doctor, though, so. Yeah. Dr. Aylin Torfison, University of Toronto for psychiatry.
Good pronunciation.
Thank you. It's a great program. It's an amazing program. Dr. Jessica Ann Trent Tihan. Going to Memorial for family medicine.
You got it. Thank you.
And Dr. Caitlin Vanderbeck, going to Queen's for anatomic pathology. Congratulations. That brings me to our next speaker, who's Dr. Andrew Turner, our representative from the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Ontario, who's going to speak to you.
Thank you, Dean Strasser, Dr. Mozon, Elder Chisel, fellow faculty members and platform members, graduating class of 2016, family and friends. It is a great privilege to address you today on behalf of the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Ontario, and indeed the medical profession as a whole. Today is an important day in your lives. Your hard work, sacrifice, and academic excellence has seen you through one of the most rigorous and challenging educations a person can go through. From this day forward, you will be called doctors of medicine. But a wise person once said that nobody succeeds spectacularly or fails spectacularly at something on his or her own, and this is especially true of your accomplishment today. Throughout your education and training, you have all had advocates in your corner at every step of the way. These advocates have supported you, believed in you, and encouraged you when you needed it most. Your advocates, friends, and family deserve to be congratulated today. So now it's your turn to become an advocate. And who will you advocate for? Well, as I'm here speaking on behalf of the province's medical regulator, I'd have to say that one group stands at the very top of that list, your patients. At the college, we have a guiding principle that never steers us wrong, and I encourage you to adopt it as well. Put patients first. The people of Ontario trust in you. It will be your demonstration of compassion, service, and altruism that will earn the trust of your patients. You will be a beacon of hope for them during their hardest days and in their most vulnerable moments. You will deliver their babies, you will restore their failing health, you will research to find cures, and you will provide comfort as they take their last breath. Indeed, I have no doubt that you can see the great responsibility ahead of you as a physician. Yet, with this tremendous responsibility comes the opportunity to have an incredibly satisfying and rewarding career. During your education, you've no doubt heard about the duties that you have to your patients and the public generally. But before I finish speaking to you today, I would like to remind you of one more very important duty, a duty to yourself and your loved ones. As rewarding as the practice of medicine is, it is also very demanding. Occasionally, you will find that demand may exceed your capacity. It is at these times I strongly urge you not to lose sight of your health and the health of your relationships. I urge you to find and maintain balance in your lives. I know many of my colleagues would agree with me when I say, if you are to be successful in caring for your patients, you must first be successful in caring for yourselves. The people of Ontario expect that you will give them your very best each day and that you will be able to help them manage their health challenges. The great Hippocrates said, wherever the art of medicine is loved, there is also a love of humanity. His words are an inspiring reminder of the close link between our profession and promoting the public good. And so I urge you today to never stop striving for excellence, never stop learning your craft, and always seek to deliver high-quality patient care. The people of Ontario are counting on you. So as I close, I want to sincerely congratulate you all. On behalf of your college, I would like to welcome you to the profession of medicine and encourage you to have a wonderful convocation day. Before closing, in the last segment of this, I gave the physician oath, and I was passed that by the college at the last minute, asked if I would mind giving the oath, but it came without instruction. So I realize I've shortchanged you by doing that. So I read the oath and you guys didn't get to speak, so with your indulgence, if I can correct that, I'd encourage my new physicians and older physicians in the audience and on stage to stand, and collectively we'll do that oath. At the time of being admitted, as a member of the medical profession, I solemnly pledge myself to consecrate my life to the service of humanity. I will give to my teachers the respect and gratitude which is their due. I will practice my profession with conscience and dignity. The health of my patient will be my first consideration. I will respect the secrets which are confided in me. I will maintain by all the means in my power the honor and the noble traditions of the medical profession. My colleagues will be my sisters and brothers. I will respect and value the lives of all persons. I will not discriminate against any person in my medical decisions. I will maintain the utmost respect for human life. Even under threat, I will not use my medical knowledge contrary to the laws of humanity. I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honor. Mea culpa, and thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Turner. I would like to welcome to the stage yet again Dr. Stevenson as a class of 2016 representative who would like to make a presentation.
And I would also like to welcome Lily and Robin to the stage as well. Sorry, I didn't say doctor. My apologies. Dr. Lily and Dr. Robin. The class gift this year was inspired by many long hours spent in the lab staring through a microscope at a kaleidoscope of colors. It's also fitting that one of our histology professors, Dr. Escott, is here today. The class of 2016 would like to gift to NOSOM something reflective of that memory. We've chosen to have histology slides from the nervous system, heart, kidneys, and fat cells framed. The different tissues are meant to represent filtered information for the kidneys and stored information for the fat cells. The nervous system represents being unnerved by the many challenges in medicine, and the heart represents a passion for medicine. We've inscribed the plaque with a message we'd like to pass along to further years. that will be a constant reminder to those who walk the halls of NOSOM. Never lose sight of the art in medicine. Thank you very much.
I'd like to invite Dr. Strasser to the stage to provide some closing remarks.
Well, thanks. I first want to thank you for this legacy gift. I'd have to say every class seems to come up with something new and different, and turning histology into works of art is really quite imaginative and creative, so thank you very much for that. I'm sure that students in years to follow will be truly inspired by this example, and they'll have Dr. Escott really to egg them on to. There's clearly true beauty in histology. Is that right, Nick? Yeah, good. Okay, got that right. So we're coming towards the end of this ceremony, and this is only part 2 of the series of ceremonies, as you've been hearing. And we're kind of talking about, well, this is the end of your studies in medicine and achievement of your degree in medicine, your MD. But in a very real sense, this is just the end of the beginning of your career in medicine. And so I just want to conclude by wishing you all well as you continue in your path in medicine and continue to work towards becoming really the best physician that you can, always with a focus on responding to the needs of the people and the communities that you have the privilege to serve. All the best.
So brings us near the end. It says here, final congratulations to graduates. I know this class fairly well, and you really do feel like my kids. It's wonderful to see this day come. For those of you going off to, what I mean, it's wonderful to see you all succeed. For those of you going off to far places, BC, Ottawa, Memorial, best of luck, and you're going to have an amazing career. For those of you who are around Northern Ontario, I look forward to seeing you in the next few years. I do a fair amount of teaching with the postgrads, so we see each other in the hallways, and I look forward to interacting with you in the coming years. It'll be very nice. I will invite everyone to the refreshments up on the mezzanine floor, up on the second floor. It's a tight year for us at NOSOM, so probably not lamb chops, but there are some nice hors d'oeuvres floating around for you. I have to remind you that anything you leave in the auditorium, you'll never get back because they're going to lock the doors once we leave. So bring everything with you when you step out. The students will have a chance for a class photo immediately after this. And pipers will pipe us out, faculties and graduates out into the lobby. But remember, there's a photo opportunity here afterwards. I think where's Leanne? I'm not sure where Leanne is. And I'd like to thank Leanne Barron and helping her Sherry Mojo. Some of these are people you know pretty well, who helped organize all this stuff today. So my sincere thanks for them. So I think, unless I've got it wrong, I think we're heading out with the pipers, but the students I think can pop back in for a picture. Is that the order? I'm looking for somebody who can tell me. I'm getting thumbs up from the back. Is that right? Excellent. Okay. So thank you for coming out. Congratulations once again. It's a great day, and very happy for all of you, and look forward to chatting upstairs. Okay. Thank you.